I guess it
Good.
doesn't matter. We're not monetized yet. But
Oh,
what is up,
yeah, you're
everybody?
right. Yeah. I guess I did say the F bomb like right in the beginning of the stream.
You did. You
Oh,
did. It's
well.
okay. Who cares?
Wow. This was really interesting.
Terrible. Well, I mean, all news. Listen. So finally, guys,
hmm
finally,
The big
all
reveal.
the big, this is it. This is the big reveal. Someone actually predicted this to a T that the second last episode would be a flashback where they just like fill in all the gaps. And that's all this episode was. It was a flashback where they fill in all the gaps, and it's just as boring and unfulfilling and uninteresting as we all assumed it would be. Oh my God.
And just I mean they're repeating so much of the same beats that were from the last boring episode. So they're basically
Yes.
copying the most boring episode and making
Yes.
us watch it again. What's up with that, Sitch? Why is
It
that? Why is that a thing?
Listen, it's like that really famous movie. Was it Rashomon?
hmm
They're like, we got to watch the movie three times, but all from different points of view.
Oh my, it's so bad. It's so bad. So I guess we're gonna go through it. You want to do any broad strokes before we get into this, or
No, I don't think. I mean, it's just awful. But
so they do a recap of I guess it's the third episode here. So we're going into flashback territory, right?
yes.
Through the recap, you're like, okay, we've been waiting. This better be good. Spoiler, it's not. It's
Okay.
totally
Yeah.
not.
Uh-huh. So we find like right in the beginning, it shows the four Jedi guys, and they're doing a bunch of like survey work on this planet. And even though, so you have like the Jedi doing grunt work, but they're like, okay, the reason they're doing this is because 100 years ago, this planet had no life on it, but now it's like brimming with life. So they're trying to figure out why, and they think there's something called a force vergence on this planet. Though no one at any point in the episode, I think, explains what that means or why anyone should care.
Yes, I'm not versed in Star Wars lore, so someone might come out and say this is like, oh, this is a big lore thing, the Virgins. I've never heard of it, so it might be in half a dozen books for all I know. But I'll wait
Right,
for the
but I
lore
mean,
professionals to come out and tell me if this is like
mhm.
correct to the lore.
No, I'm sure the lore has talked about whatever this vergence is, but like
Are you?
yeah,
I'm
well,
not sure.
I typed it up and I saw something came up on Wikipedia, so I assume it's a
Okay,
thing,
okay, okay.
right?
Vergence is
But
a thing. They're tapping
right,
into the official lore here.
but like I don't remember this ever coming up in the movies or ever being explained in the movies, and I don't understand why the show doesn't explain it to anyone because I'm just watching this. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Why I should care? This is a virgins. Why should I care if there's a bunch of virgins on this island or this planet? Whatever. The whole Jedi Temple is full of virgins. So, so okay, but this is hilarious because this means that the Jedi are on this planet just by coincidence. They weren't actually looking for the lesbian witch coven.
Yeah,
They
I
just
know.
found them. They just randomly find them by accident. Okay.
Yeah, which is super lame.
Yeah. Well, yes. Not only is it so lame, but it's nonsensical because then it shows you that literally, like when you saw in episode three, when Soul like peeks around a tree and he sees OSHA and May, I assumed because I'm a functioning person with a brain that, oh, they were like tracking this coven and he was spying on them. No, no, no. He literally just on the entire planet, Adam. Okay. They're just wandering around on an entire planet. Okay. I want you to just put this in your brain. An entire planet, and they just bump into the only other like two girls
I know. It's crazy. Not only that,
wandering around in the forest.
they got that giant structure. They can't see that from their ship. I kept
I
thinking,
know it's so
you
like
didn't survey the planet from haven't
with
you
like a
watched Star
probe?
Trek?
Or yes, I know. That's what I was like, wait a minute. So these witches, wait, so these witches are so stupid. They're trying to escape the Jedi. So they're like,
Mhm.
we need to hide in a planet. I know. Let's go to the planet where that mysteriously there was no life on it for 100 years and now it's completely full of life. That will definitely not draw any attention to anything, to anyone.
Yeah, supposedly this planet is supposed to be dead because of some hyperspace accident or something that they never really get into. They're like, "Are you?" I'm thinking, are you responsible for that? Like, what's going on there? Right?
No, yeah, they never explain it.
None of this situation is explained at all.
No.
So look, yeah, it's so they're basically ripping off Star Trek. They're on this strange planet exploring strange new worlds, seeking
Hmm.
out new life and new civilizations. Right?
Right, right. And so the now I get the witches are probably on the planet because it has a convergence on it, so that's important maybe. But it's like okay, they're trying to hide from the Jedi. Going to a planet like this is a terrible idea. But yes, how did the Jedi not find the castle from their ships? Did they not scan the planet and be like, oh, there's a power source, like a massive generator for a castle on a mountain, right there? They didn't know any of that stuff. They
Well, this
somehow didn't see any of them, and then the way they find them on an entire planet is just by walking into it by chance.
right. This is my problem. Look, I like stories that are exciting and very clear. It's not very clear, but I think they're hinting at that the space witches creating the twins is what caused the convergence. Not, I don't know why they'd want to hint at that because it's not important to the story in any way, shape, or form, or they don't mention it later. But I think that's kind of what they're going for. Like this big convergence happened here because space twins power.
I thought that at first, but then I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, if that is the case, it's even dumber because it's like, oh, these witches don't want to be found, and they made the entire planet bloom with life.
Right.
Then
Yeah.
it's like that's a really bad way of hiding yourself. Okay, so it's possible. I don't know.
Right. Right. Okay.
So, but
So
it's just
there's
it makes the whole everything the witch is doing, it makes everything the witch is doing so much dumber. It makes there's no like it really sucks a lot of interest or conflict out of the story in the first place when they just randomly bump into each other and then oh that's what causes everything. It's not like oh the Jedi or there was like I thought we were gonna have some backstory where these witches like did a bunch of like messed up shit on some planet somewhere. They're like mind controlling people, and the Jedi like chase them away. And the Jedi like, we gotta go find these witches. They're dangerous, right? That's what the witches made it sound like was going on.
yeah, they're on the
And
run.
right, they're on the run, and it's like, oh, we gotta find them. And then they found them, and no, nothing exciting or interesting like that. Now they're just, oh, we're just chilling on a planet here. Oh, look, two random twins. What a convenient thing to find in the forest.
Yeah, everything just happens by happenstance. Nobody, no
Yes,
motivation is driving any of this story, which is my biggest complaint. So they're
yes, exactly.
studying the planet, and Torbin throws out I really want to go back to Coruscant. He doesn't mention, oh, I've got a girlfriend there that's super hot. I want to get laid, right? I miss the food back home. My mom's home cooking is great. You know,
Right.
I'm super into like there's
I,
a trilogy of movies coming out on Coruscant
I
that I
want to be a
have
great
to see.
warrior. Yeah, like this is beneath me. Nothing. He just wants to leave, and we don't know why, I
Yeah.
guess. Or
Look, and if you're going to have
yeah,
a character that does crazy shit, it's helpful if we know what's driving that crazy shit, right?
right. Well, this motivation is like the most important thing in the entire fucking episode, and it's just I just want to leave this planet. It's like
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
okay. It's like great.
So he drops, I want to go home. And everyone's like, okay.
So then Soul talks to Trinity, and they have this weird conversation about like she says like, oh, you shouldn't tell your Padawans things. You have to teach them. But it's kind of like set up like it's supposed to be a theme of the show, but it's not. There hasn't been like a theme of showing the audience information versus telling the audience. We're not told or shown anything, I guess, that's important or interesting.
Yeah, that's super important.
And
I
then
feel like
Soul
they're like,
leaves. He
let's
goes and
just
uh,
I wrote that line down specifically because it was so dumb.
oh, you
I
did.
don't tell him answers. I teach him to seek answers for himself. This is like she wrote in, I don't tell you what to think. I teach you to think for yourself, right? And she's like, "Oh, wait a second. That's a cliche. I
Right.
can't do a cliche like that. Here, let me mix it up a bit. Let me reconfigure that into I don't tell him the answers. I teach him to seek answers for himself. But it touches on the story in no way, shape, or form. So,
No,
but
no.
she does also say that's why I have a pupil like this. Like I'm not indoctrinating people. I'm teaching them to think for themselves, and that's why I have a pupil and you don't have a pupil soul. It doesn't go anywhere, but it's like, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, it's weird too, because like when she says it, they like laugh. Like he's like, ha ha ha. Like he doesn't care that he doesn't have a Padawan pupil.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. And that kind of comes up later because that also becomes his primary motivation for reasons that we don't know.
Right. Yes.
So,
So this is an attempted setup here for how badly Soul wants a Padawan.
but
But
it doesn't come across that way. He's not like she doesn't say that and then he like starts like crying, right? Or he just looks mad or like, fuck you. Like, the flashback you see, he had like a pupil back in the day, but
yeah,
they
exactly.
died in a crazy speeder accident or something. And he's like, I need to fill the hole in my heart with
Yeah,
another pupil and nothing like that.
I mean that would be 10 times better, but no, we don't get any motivation for any of these characters. It's like these people don't understand like basic human interaction. Like what makes a story interesting for people is beyond them. So
And
then
that's
we
so weird because this is literally a show like created by women. I thought that's women's strong point, right? It's like emotionality and people's skill.
yeah. Oh, I can think. I mean, it makes me think. Well, what is motivating women? Let me think. Just
Pretty,
drama.
yeah,
That's it.
I
Just
get like
drama.
drama. It doesn't matter why the drama is happening. It's just as long as it's drama,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
melodrama.
Oh, that's so bad.
Maybe.
Trinity's acting in this too. Oh God, it's so bad.
Oh, everyone's acting is so bad. It's also still like it's so stilted. It's all prequel level acting. It's shocking.
Well, I think a lot of it is the actors have no motivation. They're like, "Why am I saying these things?"
They
Oh,
don't know. Yeah, no one knows.
this is why the Amambla, what's her name?
Nambla?
Nambla. Yeah, exactly. That name is a little too close to another thing that people should never name their kids after. But um, Amandla Sandberg, she wrote, I think, like 60 pages of backstory for her character. Now it seems obvious why she wrote those 60 pages of
There
backstory
was nothing in the script.
because there's absolutely nothing about this character. Yeah, exactly. So the actor has no idea what the motivations are. Carrie Ann Moss is sitting there going, why the fuck am I here? Oh, just think up something. Just make up something in your head.
Yeah,
Well,
I
isn't that
didn't.
supposed to be in the script?
The Stenberg, that's the actress that plays OSHA and May.
Yes.
There was some interview where she said that she like wrote the backstory of her character like it was like a D&D thing. And I didn't really think about it at the time until you just said just now, Buzz. That's like it's a really bad sign
It
if
is.
you show up to your acting gig and you're like, what is my character's backstory or motivation? And the director's like, you just write it yourself. It's like,
I
what do
kn-
you mean? This isn't D&D. Like, this is supposed to be like a structured television show.
yeah, exactly. Well, what if I write something that's completely contradictory to the how this thing ends? That'll be fine. It'll
My
be
character was born a cyborg
yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
who was bent on taking over the galaxy.
There was one scene too towards the end that's so, well, we'll talk about when we get there, but it's
Right.
so confusing. I had to rewind it half a
There's a
dozen
lot of
times to be
confusing
like,
stuff.
what is happening in this scene? That is
Yeah,
not a
there's
good sign either. Look, you should
no.
have clarity. So they're all sitting around the campfire here talking about concentrated force energy and convergences or vergences or something like that.
Hmm.
The Wookiee's cooking. Nobody likes his cooking.
Then Soul leaves because he can't stand being around these boring Jedi. He needs some fresh air, I guess. And then he just randomly finds on the entire planet, he just randomly finds the only other two people walking around.
Oh, you missed this cringe conversation between Carrie Ann Moss and Soul.
I thought wasn't that what we were talking about? The
Oh, okay.
isn't it the? The
Yeah.
teaching versus telling. Yeah.
The teaching versus telling. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So Soul takes off on his own right and he bumps into the twins. And we see the same exact scenes just from Soul's perspective.
Yes.
Like
Very exciting.
somebody doesn't understand. Look, this is not new information to us. This is literally boring. You're showing us
Yes.
the same exact scene over again.
There's a I know you haven't played it, but there's a game called Kingdom Hearts 3,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hilarious because they literally have a part in Kingdom Hearts 3 where you go to the Frozen world from the movie Frozen,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to watch they literally do a shot for shot remake of the song Let It Go in the video game, and it looks exactly the same. They just remodeled it in the video game engine, except they stick like Sora, Donald, and Goofy in the background reacting to the song.
Oh my, that's the worst.
You're like, why would you do this? And that's what this was. It was just like, oh, here's this part of the episode again, except you just keep cutting the soul going, huh? What? Like giving a reaction shot.
I know. I know. It's so bizarre too. We have to talk. We have to really, really talk about the climbing the mountain scene. Because this might be like the cringiest scene in Star Wars history.
Oh, so then after Soul finds him, he like tries to call it in and then can't, and they don't even it's funny. Normally they're like, oh, it's like static, it can't get through. They don't even explain why it doesn't go through. It just doesn't.
Right.
And he doesn't like go back and say like, oh, like I found some people. He just decides on his own to just scale a mountain.
Yeah. So so he's like he goes up to try to get in. Like they don't have a little camera up here or something. They can't see someone trying to break in the front of their pad.
No, I guess they don't. No, I guess
So
not.
look, he looks up this giant wall. It's
After trying the
fucking
door,
the
after like
Mount
you're right, because he tries the panels.
he looks up the Mount Everest of walls here. And like, okay, dude, I'm gonna scale up this wall. And I keep thinking, is this look, there's like cloud cover here and shit. And he's over here, look, you can see his tiny little like he's scaling up into the clouds.
Yes.
Is this supposed to make Soul seem cool?
I mean, I guess it's like he climbed like 1,000 miles into the sky.
This is you can't do this in an evening. This is
Well,
ridiculous.
he's a Jedi, so I guess he used super speed, even though you don't actually see him use super speed on screen at any point.
I can't believe they did this. They're like, okay, wait, we're showing a lot of old stuff from episode 3. So we have to throw some cool stuff in. How about we have Soul scale a mountain? So he scales all the way up, and then look, now
Oh
he's
wait, it actually gets
magically.
worse because later in the episode they scale it again
Yes, with Torbin.
in like 5 minutes, and you're like, well, how? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, he does it with Torbin. He's like,
Yes.
look, I've been this way before.
You're like, what the fuck?
I want Torbin to go, hey, we have a ship. Wouldn't it be like, we could just fly up there and drop in?
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't that be safer? There's no rope on
Well,
the ship.
apparently that's what the Wookiee guy does later in the episode, though. They don't show like
Right.
how he gets
Oh, you're
out of the
right.
ship. He just shows up, and you're like, oh, okay. Did he just jump out of the ship while it was like hovering? I don't
Yeah,
know. I guess.
none of this makes any sense. So then back to episode 3, just with Soul peeping in the background.
Yes, exactly.
Why?
Isn't that exciting
Why?
to watch the same thing you've already seen, but with Soul going, "Huh?" But also the camera's really far away. So, and then Soul goes, huh? Huh? That makes it so much better.
Yeah, and not only that, we have no information about this is like illegal force use or anything. So we have no idea what Soul is thinking in these scenes.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Well, okay. Nice. Nice TV show.
Yeah, I know. He should have been like, why didn't they show it so that he saw them, I don't know, like doing something crazy that we didn't see on screen? Like, you see that they were like, he's like kind of like he sees the twins are doing their study thing, and then he keeps going. And in the next room, you see there's like an animal, and the witches are like extracting the life force out of it, and it's like shriveling out,
Oh
shriveling up or something.
yeah.
Like just I don't know, something
Oh
weird or
yeah.
crazy or cool.
That would be great. Yeah. So we see more of this place, but they can't do that with the ending. If you remember, the ending is
Right,
just
because they don't want to make the witches too evil, even though the
bad.
witches are
Yeah.
obviously evil. Like,
Are they?
I mean, they literally use the dark
No.
side of the force. That's what's kind of bullshit too, is that they're trying to say that they're using the dark side of the force, but they're not evil, which doesn't
The
make any sense in established Star Wars lore, I guess, or
the
like mainstream
Jedi
Star Wars lore.
the Jedi start everything though in this. So the witches can be classified as self-defense all the way through. So
Well, I wonder though, and we'll come up to it. I think the only reason Torbin started everything is because the witch mind screwed him. I think that's what like made him freak out.
I don't think so, but
Okay, well maybe. Anyways, so going back in the order of operations, so then Soul goes back to the camp and he's like, "Hey, there's like a freaking cult of force witches over here, and they
right.
got two little girls, and we should go do something about it."
You cut out. I don't know.
He's like, "Hey, there's we should go do something about these force witches and the girls because they're gonna do like I overheard that they're planning to do a creepy ceremony, and I think they're gonna like hurt the girls in the ceremony or something." He
Yeah, they're
doesn't really
gonna.
have any real reason to think that, except just vibe check, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, no. We haven't seen anything that makes anything Soul is saying make sense, right?
No,
Yeah.
he's
He's
operating 100% on vibes. He's just like, oh, just come on, I just feel it. Come on, I feel it. So then he convinced, so because Trinity, she's all like, oh, we should like tell the council what's going on, and he's like, no, we got to go save those children.
right.
And so then they just go back. So he convinces her, they go back, and then the Wookiee apparently he can just like hack the door so they don't have to climb the mountain.
Right. Yeah. That would have been useful if Soul knew how to do that, right? I think it would have
Right.
been funnier if they all would have been in a row, scaling that mountain
Scaling
up
the
into the
mountain.
clouds. The full moon is out there.
Mhm. It's like that scene from Game of Thrones when they climb the wall.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yes. And then Trinity has like the dumbest idea ever. And it's funny because the show presents it like she's correct, like women correct, soul man has bad idea, but her idea is stupid. She's like, I should go in alone. And Soul's like, are you crazy? There's 50 force witches in there. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, no, if we go in as a group, it'll scare them. He's like, but no, shut up. They should like we need to protect ourselves. And she's like, okay, I guess you're right.
This is an attempted setup for when things go wrong because it's supposed to be, you're supposed to think, oh, if Carrie Ann Moss would have just handled this by herself, woman power, everything would have been okay.
They would have just killed her.
She would have went in and just talked it out. Everything would be just fine. Everyone would still be alive right now if Carrie Ann Moss just went in by herself. Stupid men.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's funny because the show's very trying to make it seem like woman, good idea, men, bad idea. But in reality, that idea is really stupid
Yeah, not a good
and
idea.
nonsensical. So then they go inside, and then it's that scene again where they confront the
I know.
witches,
Oh yeah, the
and then
boring scene.
same scene,
Except,
but now
yeah, go ahead.
now they show what goes on in Torbin's mind
Hmm.
when the Force Witch Coven like makes his eyes go black, and it's really stupid. But we
Yeah,
could talk about it.
it tells us absolutely nothing about the story. It doesn't move the story forward in any way, shape, or form. What she says to him is not important to the story or anything.
No, it's like she's like trying to tempt him to go to the dark side, saying like, "Oh, you have these urges that you suppress. I'll help you with these urges." And you're like, "Well, she like okay." But that has nothing to do with the story. And she says his big dark secret, the big urge that he has deep inside of him that she wants to help him release. is that he wants to leave the planet.
He wants to go home. So this was the perfect opportunity for her to go deeper into why he wants to go home. Like drill into that. Oh, you've got a girlfriend. You're not supposed to
Yep,
have a girlfriend.
exactly. Like,
Jedis are not supposed to have relationships, right?
right,
To go deep in and know his deep dark secret. And he comes out of it and is like, oh shit, she knows my
right,
secret. But
right.
no, they don't do any of that.
Yeah, or like, oh look, he's like wants glorious battle, and that's very un-Jedi like. This
Yeah.
any
Yes.
literally anything, right?
Anything. Yes.
Anything. No, his desires, he just wants to leave the planet. Oh, that's very exciting, guys.
He
Just
wants
wants
to
to,
go home.
he wants to just, yeah, he just wants to get the heck out of here.
That's so bad. Oh my God. This evil person. Yeah. It's so silly.
Yes.
So this scene is just useless. Doesn't add anything. No characterization. No moving the plot forward. It's supposed to be just a cool visual scene. Like she gets inside his head. You know, she powerful woman.
Hmm.
Powerful woman talk down to straight white male.
Yep. So then they go back to the ship, and there's like this super weird thing where I don't know what's going on with this OSHA character, but excuse me. I don't know if they're going to explain that the Force makes everyone horny for her or something, but everyone wants this child and no one explains why. Like May was like obsessed with her sister, and now Soul is obsessed with OSHA too. He's like, oh, I have this very strong sense that I'm supposed to like I feel he literally says, I feel a connection to OSHA and I want her to be my Padawan. And you're like, you just saw her for like 10 seconds. Like, why? What's going on here? He like becomes completely obsessed with like taking OSHA away from the coven.
Yeah, major pedo vibes going on in
Yeah,
this story.
yes, it's super creepy. I was like, what? He's like, Indra.
Spying from a distance. I gotta take this girl away from her family. Like, what is going on?
Yes, it's super creepy. I was like, what is going on with Soul here? Like, can we not?
So Trinity is like, great job using that subterfuge of testing them so that we can figure out what's going on. But Soul's like, no, we really have to test them. I really want that girl to come home with me.
Right. Which is weird because like in the third episode, I thought, okay, there's some, when Trinity talks about testing them, like there's got to be some kind of conflict between the Jedi and this lesbian witch coven about Force children and the raising thereof. And it seemed like maybe only the Jedi were allowed to teach Force stuff in the galaxy or something. But
Mm-hmm.
then it turns out that the testing was like just a lie. That was just them screwing with the lesbian witches. I was like, oh, none of that's true, I guess.
Well, it's not really clear this conversation between Carrie Ann Moss and Soul. I don't even know the Jedi character's name, but it's not clear if it was subterfuge or not because it seems like Soul really wants to test them, and Carrie's like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're testing them now."
Well, like Trinity, who says it in the original scene, she's like, "Oh, she thought it was just subterfuge."
Yeah, yes, she does. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. So literally says, "I feel she's meant to be my Padawan." Why do you feel that way?
I know it's such pedo vibes.
And why does he like? They never established that he even cares. Why does he care about even having a Padawan in the first place?
And then when they say, "Oh, these girls are way too old," you're like, "Oh my
Oh
god,
God.
these people, these little pedophiles."
I know it's terrible. Oh, and then it's really weird too, because in that conversation, he says. It's like at 5:19, he says they marked her sister with dark magic.
Oh
And
yeah,
I was like, wait, listen, I'm not all up on like all the Star Wars lore and everything, right? But
yeah.
like there's magic in this universe? I thought everything was the Force. Like, why didn't he say they marked her with like the dark side of the Force or like a dark Force symbol? Why is he saying the words magic?
Yeah, that's a good point. That is way out of place, isn't it?
I was very confused by that. I was like, what does that even mean?
Do
There's just magic now in Star Wars. You could just use magic.
the Jedi, do they think of themselves as wizards,
I didn't think
space
they did.
wizards?
I didn't think they did, but I don't know. They got the they got the light magic. It was really weird. And then it's funny because then right after he says that, Trinity says ceremonial markings are customary in many cultures in the galaxy. She's like literally calling him a bigot.
It's not dark magic. That's just a ceremonial tattoo.
That on a child.
You can't judge this culture.
Yes. I was like, what is happening? This is
Some
so
cultures
silly.
circumcise the boys when they're 14.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then he like keeps talking about how he's like afraid that they're gonna harm OSHA, but with no, like he doesn't have any reason to believe that.
Yeah, we don't have any reason to
We don't
believe
either.
that.
Yeah, no one does. Yeah, we don't because we don't and this I don't know if we're ever gonna find out what Ascension is because only one episode left, right?
Yes, yeah. She does say in that, so they do the test, and of course we've got to watch it again. Oh, this time, and I don't know. I have to go back to episode 3 to look because this time he asks her if it's okay to take her blood. In the other one, he's just like, it takes her blood. Yep, that was a blood test.
Oh no, because it was the other twin though. That's probably why.
Oh, it is? So he asks OSHA, but he doesn't ask May? He's
No, the other
like,
way around. Yes, May doesn't ask OSHA.
okay.
Because the one in this one you see them testing May. In the first one, you only saw them testing OSHA.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
May.
now you
So
get to see
May is the one that says everyone must be sacrificed to fulfill their destiny. That's
yes.
supposed to be the line that makes you think, okay, um, a soul has a reason to fear for these girls' lives. But you're
Yeah, but he
going, what,
feared for them before she ever said that.
that? And also, I mean, this is just like a little girl. Who knows if she got it right? Who knows?
Right,
Like she's
exactly.
just, this is hearsay, right?
Why didn't they just ask the witch woman when they were like they were at their camp away from the rest of them?
Yeah. Are you going to sacrifice these little girls? Is there some
Ye-
sort of like cutting out of their heart ceremony that's going to take place
right,
later tonight?
exactly. So, yeah, was it is it going to be like the Indiana Jones scene, like
Yeah, that's what they need. That's exactly what they need. They need
that's why
to,
I said he should have seen like them like draining the life out of something and like at the temple.
they don't want to do that though because they're like, they want the witches to be good. They want the Jedi to be the bad guys, which completely messes up their whole program.
Because it's stupid. I don't know what to tell you. Or at
Oh,
least make it look like they were draining the life out of someone. That's like from another angle. It's like, no, he's actually healing. I don't, or maybe they like drain the life out of like an animal and then you see like they use it to heal a person. I don't know. You could do something like that.
yeah. Oh, the ending of this is so horrendous.
Yes.
So
So,
so he tests May first, and then he's like, "I need to try a new strategy." When OSHA comes in, right?
mhm.
It's like, let's try
Oh, so but wait,
something
but before
different.
that though, because so Trinity's asking her about the marking and what the ascension means. And she says the other thing she says is that ascension means OSHA and I will lead the coven. And they're like, well, how can you do that if you're a child? And she's like, I don't know.
Right.
It's we only have one episode, I guess, to find out if we'll ever figure out what ascension is.
Hmm. Dumb. All right. So they test May. May fails like a good little liar
Hmm.
because she's the evil twin, right?
Right.
And then,
Then they
uh,
show the end part where OSHA succeeds, and we already saw that in the test.
right. Yeah. He's going to try a new tact with OSHA, which we already saw in the other episode.
Right. Which is basically just saying, hey, there's a bunch of kids you can play with.
Mhm.
That's the big tact.
That's the new tact. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
I have some candy in my bag, little girl.
Mm.
So, and then Torbin, this scene is so incredibly lame. Torbin runs off all unhinged.
Oh, wait,
Like,
wait, wait. Before that, when
okay,
so after they do the testing, they're waiting around at camp. Excuse me. And and Trinity comes out and she's like, the council said that you can't train the girls. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? Maybe they think like they're dangerous or something, but then what do they want to do with them? And then she's like, oh, also the council said that you should just leave the girls with the coven and you should just not interact with the coven at all and just let them do whatever the fuck they want. And I was like, what? Wait, what do you mean? The council just said to like let them just exist? Well, what is the coven even running away from then? The council doesn't give a crap about them. They're like, yeah, just let them do whatever.
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? But then, like I want to see now, like this, like a flashback where like the coven like ran away to this deserted planet just because like the coven women are just completely paranoid. The Jedi literally don't care about them doing anything, and they just did this all on their own. It's all just because they have like they're all just like paranoid schizophrenics or something.
This is a big undertone of defund the police, though. That's like the message here. It's like just the council's like, just leave them alone, they'll be fine, right? And they're like, no, we need to go metal. We need to figure out what's going on here. The council told us to leave these poor innocent people alone, but I think they're up to something.
I just, it's so, but that was like the whole conflict between the coven, or that was like the whole motivation for the coven was, oh, we're
Yeah,
practicing the
totally.
force. The Jedi, go after anyone that practices the force. And then the Jedi are like, no, whatever. We don't care. Just let them do whatever. Like Trinity's like, oh, they're like summoning dark magic into children. And the Jedi's like, the Jedi Council's like, whatever. Like, who cares?
I can't believe they just didn't come up with something.
It's shot. It's
Some
just shot. It's baffling to me.
some real motivation. There was another cringe line about family versus institution. Oh, I guess we're pretty close to that.
Hmm.
So, all right. Torbin runs off in a huff, screaming, I want to go home. I got to get out of here. This place is driving me crazy. And you're just like, what's this? I mean, what? What's the motivation for this?
Are you talking about when he like speeds off?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because then they're like, oh no, they get the blood results come in of the twins. Okay, and this doesn't make any sense or is not explained. And I actually Googled it. I don't know, maybe someone in chat knows, and I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. So the blood results of the twins come in. They're like, oh, their midichlorian count is very high, like super duper high. And it's like, okay, we all expected that because they're like forced children or something. But then he says, wait, they're symbionts, not their symbiotes. Symbiotes are the same. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. What's a symbiote? Like Venom from Spider-Man? Like, what does that mean? And then he says, no, even identical twins would have different symbiotes. And I don't know
Right.
what the fuck that meant, and they never explain it.
Get ready. They're going to pull a fight club in the last episode, Sitch. Get ready
OSHA and
for
May
it.
are the same person?
They're the same person.
Okay.
Yeah. Get
I
ready.
I was just like, I was like, what? But this is important because this like changes Torbin's behavior. Because then after that, he says this is impossible without some kind of force manipulation. I'm like, and then that's what makes him think that the twins were artificially created.
He
And
doesn't
then
say
they,
that here, though.
no, they
Th-
do.
Does he say artificially created?
He says, it's impossible without some kind of manipulation. Soul says the twins were artificially created, question mark.
Oh,
And
okay.
then Trini says maybe by tapping into a power dense enough to split one consciousness into two bodies.
Right.
And then Soul says only a virgins could create that type of power. So it makes it sound like what happened was maybe that they didn't use the Force to create them like Anakin, but they just used the Force to split one consciousness into two people. I'm guessing that's what happened.
Wow. Okay. So he says we need proof of a vengeance. And those girls are the proof. So he's like running off to get the girls.
Right, exactly. And so yeah, because he's so motivated,
This is our ticket
it's just
home.
going to like kidnap the children or something.
You're cutting out intermittently. I'm not sure
Oh,
if you
sorry.
didn't plug your thing in or what, but
I didn't. I forgot.
okay. Wi-Fi sucks. So
I can do it now, but it'll take me a minute.
no, don't do it.
Okay.
So the speeder, he runs off on the speeder This is our ticket home. Let's get those girls. I really got to get home. Why? We still don't know. We have no idea.
Because he just wants to leave.
He said he doesn't he's tired of the food. So
Yeah.
he goes and does this insane thing
He's gonna
because
kidnap children because he wants a better meal.
he's tired of the food.
Yes.
Usually usually you try to make the motivation equal to the insanity of the thing the person is going to do, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. So,
He's a hungry
bad
boy.
mismatch. Bad mismatch
Okay.
here. Yeah, okay. So we go back to the coven and
We
we
go back to the
find out.
coven, yeah. And the Darth Maul mom like tells May to stop OSHA. So she's the one that like told her to lock her in the room, I guess.
Right. She puts May up to it. She
Yeah.
says, "Go fuck up your sister."
Well, she didn't say that. She's like, go stop her or whatever.
Right. And the two moms argue.
And then hold on. I want to go back at episode 3 because I'm really confused. Because in episode 3, I just swore that May says she's gonna like kill OSHA. Doesn't she directly say that? Yeah, she says, I'll kill you,
Right.
right? She directly says, I'll kill you. Okay.
Good memory. Oh, you
Well,
want to
because
look it
then
up?
there's like a thing that happens, which we'll talk about when it comes up. That's like very confusing.
Right. So Darth Maul mom is psyching out May to go take care of OSHA. Well, keep her from leaving, I guess. She's going to lock her in.
Mhm.
And the other mom is basically being nice to OSHA and telling OSHA, yeah, go ahead. You can go be a Jedi.
It's funny. The thing I literally predicted would happen, half of it came exactly true, which is that the Coven mom is arguing with all the other witches don't want OSHA to leave, and the Coven mom is like, no, she can leave, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this actually is an example, I think, of a direct example of how you have something that exists only for like a woke reason that doesn't actually make sense storyline wise. What they should have done, which would have made more sense, is that they should have had the spiky Darth Maul mom and the Coven leader switch roles. The spiky Darth Maul mom should have been the Coven leader, and the black one should have been the one that actually like birthed the children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then A, that would be why they're black, number one. But then number two, it makes sense why she would be more attached to them like as a mother as opposed to as like a cult leader. Because then that'd be like, well, that's why she would want to defy the cult and be like, oh, I want my children to be happy, even if it like pisses off the cult. But since she's the cult leader, it makes no sense. That should be her primary goal is the cult.
Right. Yeah. I got to tell you, I completely forgot that the Darth Maul mom was the one that birthed them
Yeah,
because it just seems so, who cares? She's like, I carried them. The Darth Maul mom carried them, and then the black mom used the force
to quote
to
make them or
make,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever that means.
But you're right, exactly right. Yeah, the one that actually carried them would be more motherly towards them. But they do, like, they completely set it up as if the black mom is, completely just misunderstood. In the third episode, they really hit you over the head with how evil the black mom is. She's the evil one. And in this one, she's totally the nice one.
Yeah, even though she did try to mind screw that guy for no reason.
Right, yeah. But they do a switcheroo here towards the midpoint where she's like, "Oh, you're like she's soft and loving.
Right.
Oh, look, there's philosophy tube there."
There's philosophy too. They had a line this episode. They said something like, "You can't."
Yeah. So,
But when I was going to say, like, And I think the only reason they didn't do it that way was it would have made more sense. Like switching the roles is because they're like, well, we need to have the black woman be in charge of the coven for
Really?
DEI purposes.
Right.
Because it would have
Well,
made so much more sense the other way if the Darth Maul one was in charge.
and they're doing it. This is they really are hitting the defund the police themes here. It's like you're supposed to think this woman is bad because she's black, but really she's a sweetheart angel.
I mean, she was
That's
about to
a
do something crazy. We don't know what it was. She's about to do something crazy when spoiler spoiler alert, Soul fucking kills her.
look. That was a toy gun. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
that was not a real. That was not a real gun.
I
Okay,
see.
so
She had her hands up and Soul shot her. Is that what you're saying?
they did. She did made an evil face, but look, the what you're supposed to take away is it just looked evil because she's black. Okay,
I see. I see.
it wasn't actually evil though.
Right, right.
Just a misunderstanding here. So
Of
look,
course.
she's here. So she's confronting the coven, and the coven is like, "Don't. We can't get rid of these children. These children are, we're going to do our ceremony with them. They're going to lead us. I guess. They kind of don't pick up on that.
Hmm.
But the black mom is like, no, we got to let him go. She made a decision. She's old enough to make her own decisions. She wants to go. I'm standing behind her going, right? So
Hmm.
there's a rift between the coven over this. This is kind of independent of what Darth Maul mom is doing,
Right,
right?
right. We actually, we you don't. Darth Maul mom's not in the scene
Yeah, she's not because she's
yeah,
already told May to go
to
start
go
shit
stop
with
OSHA.
OSHA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And
So,
also, it's weird because like in the third episode, the Coven leader is like, I have to consult the Coven, and then she does, and they tell her no, and she's like, "Fuck you! I get to make the decision myself." I was like, "Well, what? You weren't consulted shit. What are you talking about?"
well, she made him with the Force. So,
I guess, but why did she tell OSHA she had to like ask the mother? She didn't. She just overruled all of them.
right.
So then the next scene is so hilariously stupid. And I was very confused when I first saw it. It cuts to May just
Hmm.
bashing in the control panel for the door to the coven.
Right. Now none of us can leave.
Yeah, and like with like a stick or like a club, like she's like a cave person. I was like, what is happening? And then and all the women are just watching her do it. I'm like, what? Why are they letting her do this? And she's like, oh, I've locked the doors, so now no one can enter or leave. I'm like, okay, it's the future. They have like very advanced technology. There's not like a button that just locks the door. She has to smash the control panel like a caveman.
Yeah,
Like, what is
exactly.
this?
You expect one of the witches to pull out a key and go, May, I have the key right
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
I, I told you to lock the door.
I was like, why is this? Like, she's having a temper tantrum on the door. And also, like, she says no one can get out. It's like, well, I mean, don't they have to get out like to get food or something? Like water, supplies? I mean, like, you gotta get out eventually, right?
Looking Darth Maul mom is so proud. Oh, you smashed that panel so good.
I know. It's so stupid.
Yeah, why are they all locked in there? Oh, they're all supposed to be locked in there so May can't leave and join the Jedi. That's why.
OSHA, but yeah,
Oh yeah,
right.
OSHA.
And then this your favorite scene comes
I
up.
know this is so. That I think they've locked the girls inside, and he's like, "The elevator's been disabled. Okay, let's climb the mountain together."
Yes. Well, it's weird because like so Soul does like a little force thing where he like uses the force to have like farsight vision, and he like looks and sees that May and OSHA are talking in the room, and this would have been the sign. This would have been the part of like he should have seen May say, "I'm going to kill you," right? Because
Yes.
then he that would be like, oh, we got to go save her, right? But he doesn't. When he looks at into sees like with the force, all May says is, "You can't go. We're stuck here now." And he's like, "Quickly, we have to go. They're in trouble." And I was like, "Wait a minute, that's not what the vision showed you." Like, why didn't they have literally, I think in the third episode, like the next line, like 30 seconds later is like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, that's the line that like fucking Soul should have seen. Then you would be like, oh, that's why he's running in. But no, I
They
don't know
couldn't do that.
why.
Everything would be way too clear then.
Oh, okay.
They got to keep it in the dark. I love Torbin looking up at the mountain. He's like, "You climbed this yesterday, Soul?"
I know I know.
Yes, and we're gonna climb this together. It only takes 5 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. This literally it takes them like no time at all to climb. It's really pretty bizarre. So
I need you to help me get the girls. Okay.
yes.
Oh my god. Such pedo vibes here. I'll help you, Soul. I know you have a problem. Just I want to go home for any reason.
So so this part it makes even less sense. So in episode 3, May tells OSHA that she's going to kill her, and then she locks her in the room, and then she starts the fire. And so
Right.
you're like, oh, she said she was going to kill her, and she is. But now we learn that I guess her saying "I'm going to kill you" was just like a funny meme joke. That she didn't actually mean it, and she just said it for no like that's just like. And she didn't just say like, "Oh, you're so annoying, I'll kill you." Like the way she said it, she's like, "I'll kill you." Like it seemed really sincere and weird. But no, it was just like a meme joke because we find on this episode that when she locks her in the room and lights the little book on fire, like she didn't mean to actually start an entire fire. It was just like a big oopsie.
Yep.
She just
It was
she just
total
floofed the goof
accident.
there and destroyed everyone by mistake.
Yeah. It's so bad. She's like, "Oh my god, I started a fire. Ah, let me try to stamp it out."
Yeah, she
Yeah.
lights her little book on fire and then just like goes, "Oh, this is a fire and it's hot. I'm gonna drop it on the floor. Oh, the entire everything's on fire now."
Yeah. They told me this stone was fire safe, but
Yeah, why
evidently
does the
not.
it's really weird because she drops it on okay, this makes no sense. So she lights the book on fire. It's made of paper, so that makes sense, I guess. But then she drops it on the floor. The floor appears to be made of stone, right? And the fire just goes. I'm like, what is the floor made of? Like, why is the stone floor flammable?
They put a little, you can see like gasoline on the floor or something.
I
So
know they
as an
did for the
accelerant,
shot, but you're like,
they're like, "Yeah, this stone won't burn. We need to get some lighter fluid in here or something."
yeah, exactly.
It's
It was like,
very,
oh, like this the stone, like the stone walls and stone floor and the metal door, everything literally just catches on fire in like 10 seconds. Like, what is happening?
so we've gone from thinking, okay, the Jedi started this fire and blamed it on May to no, May just accidentally started the fire on her own, which is just, I mean, that's a huge, who cares, right?
Oh, I just saw like a big mistake. Okay, so like go to 2656
Okay.
and you can see this like the puddle of some like lighter fluid or something that they're using in like the shot to like make the fire spread on the
Yeah,
floor,
I
right?
know. I noticed that immediately.
Right, that wasn't there before. And
Yeah.
then it cuts to the close up of May and then like and then it cuts back at 2702 and you see the puddle that like is like way bigger. It's like more accelerant on the floor. Like what like wait, what how did like what's going on? Like why is the floor like bleeding gasoline?
Yeah, we wondered after we saw the third episode if this was just incompetence or a setup by the Jedi. No, it's just incompetence.
Yeah, like we thought like, oh, she probably like started a small fire and then the generator of the base like blew up for some other reason and she just thought it was because of the fire, but it wasn't. But no, literally that tiny fire explodes the entire base.
Yes, yeah. A child accidentally starts a fire and it destroys everything.
Yes, it's so weird. Like
They
the
have no
entire
fire
generator
alarms in here.
explodes. Yes. They don't have fire suppression systems. Listen. This is why the character's name is OSHA. This place is not OSHA safe, okay? The Jedi were really the fire marshals, and they're trying to tell the witch coven, like, listen, this place is not up to code.
Okay, so now We cut from OSHA or May starting the fire accidentally, which we thought before she started it on purpose, right?
Right.
So then we go to the Jedi confronting the mamas.
It took them literally like 20 seconds to climb the mountain.
Yeah. So I guess all this is taking place in the very tippy top of that mountain,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
The sense of scale is not really in
Doesn't
here,
make any
but
sense. Yeah, they don't
yeah.
really show us.
So she's
So
um
then Soul and Torbin show up, and remember, Soul's motivation was that he wanted to save OSHA. He thought she was in danger. And then the first question he asks is not, where is she? Are they safe? The first question he says is, how did you make them? Which
okay.
doesn't make any sense with
Who
his
cares?
motivations.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so he says, this line was like super cringe. He says, how are they created? And then she walks forward and says, oh wait, no, there's a setup to this line. What was the setup to the line? I have to find it. Oh, the setup was like Soul says, we come with noble intentions. And then he asks her, how they were created, and she gives the cringiest line. Someday, those noble intentions you all have, dot, 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 will destroy every Jedi in the galaxy. Which I guess
Yeah.
is supposed to be like a callback to the prequels where all the Jedi get killed.
Order 66.
Right, right. But what did that have to do with noble intentions? That had to do with them getting tricked by Palpatine.
This is where she also says a cringy line about being raised by a family versus an institution.
Right.
Like they need to be raised by a family instead of an institution. But she's literally going to turn them over to the institution. Like she says in the very end, oh, I was going to give them to you.
Yeah, why? You're right. Why is she saying
It's
all
like,
this to
what?
Soul? Yeah, it's so. What the fuck? Why didn't she say like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna let OSHA go with you"? Like, why is she being like a bitch for no reason?
They need a family, not an institution. Oh, and by the way, I was going to give them to the institution anyway. So
Exactly.
why'd you kill me, you bitch?
I know. It's like so.
So
Oh my
isn't she
God.
responsible? Don't you think that family line kind of caused all the confusion here to begin with?
It sure did.
Yeah, they always do this. It's like confusion. Bad writing. Totally bad writing.
It's
Yeah.
really bad. So then there's like one of oh my God, this
This
if you
scene
can
is so cringy.
oh, did you get that like the freeze frame? It's like 2832. It's the best. This frame is so pathetically lame. Like Torbin pulls out his lightsaber. Darth Maul mom is like pointing her staff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Soul's pointing, and she's like, she's doing the Darth Vader, like, no. And you're like, what is why is this happening? What's happening?
So this scene is, this was the one that I kept backing up on because, so OSHA is there, right? OSHA comes in
No,
screaming.
it's May.
So it's Meg that comes in
He
screaming.
says
Okay.
OSHA, I guess because he's confused or something.
He can't tell the difference between them, I
Well,
guess.
they're twins,
Okay.
though.
So it is May that comes in. Because,
Right.
yeah, that makes sense because OSHA's stuck in the fire, right? But does she?
Yes.
She doesn't have a tattoo on her forehead there, right?
We can't really tell, I guess, because of her hair.
Hmm. I feel like you would see the tattoo under there pretty easily. I can see through her hair. That's what made me think it was OSHA. I was like, one of these girls has a tattoo and one doesn't. But then in the very end of the scene, you clearly see the tattoo.
No, it's got to be May because May's the one that's OSHA never sees Soul stab the Coven mom.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. So then, so then everyone, so Torben pulls out his lightsaber and
But wait. Before even it doesn't make nothing in the scene makes no sense. So May runs out and she says, "Fire, help. I need help. Fire."
right.
And for some reason that makes them all try to kill each other. And you're like, "Wait, why would that make them all try to kill each other?" Like I don't understand. Like why does that make them want to fight? But she said, "Oh, there's a fire. I need help."
The mom turns into some black fire retardant powder.
Yeah, it's so yeah, she starts melting.
That would have been a good setup, right? Because she comes in, she's yelling fire, fire, and the mom's like, "Oh yes, I have my fire retardant powder here. Let me turn in." And then Soul is like, "Oh no, she's doing something witchy." But really, she's just trying to put out the fire, right?
Well, I don't know, because when she does it, May starts melting too.
I know, yeah,
So you're like, what the fuck was that?
yeah. What's so another problem? Totally unclear what is going on, right? The
Completely
scene,
unclear.
yeah, no one knows what's going on in this scene, right? Everyone pulls out their weapons. She turns into a big black cloud, and May starts turning into a black cloud, and then Soul just goes and stabs her. Like, why?
Because she's doing witch stuff. I don't know. It's creepy.
So he goes, like, she's half cloud, half, but when Soul stabs her, she turns back into a person
Well,
and says,
it's really poorly done because she's like 90% cloud when he stabs her.
yeah.
So you're like, how does that even affect her? Like, they should have had it be like she was like 50%, like her chest was still like there, but the rest of her body was cloud, and that maybe that would have made more sense or something.
And then has this super cringy line. May yells, Mama.
Hmm.
She has this super cringy line. Psych. I think they should have been raised by an institution, not a family. I was just fucking with you.
Exactly. Good job, idiot.
I was
Thanks for
just,
stabbing me for no reason. Even though
I
I was
was
gonna do
gonna,
some crazy witch shit. Like what was going on in that scene?
I was gonna let OSHA go. I was just fucking with you.
Also, it's really weird. That scene makes no sense, not only just because of like there's a woman exploding into mist, and we don't know why, but while she's exploding to mist, like it starts to slow down and you see like Soul is like turning slowly and turning back. So you're like, oh, okay, so it's all happening very fast, right? The camera's moving things slowly. But then you see Torbin and the Darth Maul lady, and they're like frozen in place.
Yeah.
So it's like, what were they literally just standing there? Or but it makes it look like Soul and the Witch were moving at super speed for some reason, and no one else was.
Yeah. This whole scene is kind of weird. And then May is very mad. You killed mommy.
Yeah. Listen, kid. I told her to put her hands up and not reach for anything. She reached for the force. Everyone saw she reached for the force.
She did, didn't she? Why'd she
She,
do that?
yeah, why'd she reach for the force? Okay. You're right. It's funny. I didn't think about it, but you're 100% right. It is definitely like a police shooting gone bad or something.
That's exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah.
They can't escape the woke mind virus. They just can't do it. They're like, this story has to be about, let's base this on like a police incident that goes horribly wrong.
I mean, they
And
should have
of
had Soul put his knee
course,
on her neck or something, make it like a little bit more.
look, if you ask some woke person, how often do police cover up shenanigans, right? How often do they kill a whole innocent family and just blame it on the something else, right? They're
Right.
completely innocent.
On the evil twin who started the fire.
You know how they of course they do it all the time, right?
All the time, yeah.
They're cops. These are just
Yes.
dirty cops.
Yep.
So Darth Maul mom gets super mad. She's like, "Ah, how dare you? That was a toy gun. It wasn't even real."
Yeah. Well, it's also funny too because everyone then just ignores the fact that she said that there's a fire and that she needs help. They all just start fighting each other.
Right.
No one
Don't
goes to help the child that said everything's on fire. I need help.
don't
They're
help
like,
the
shut up. We have
children.
to fight now.
She's like, "Well, look, she's pissed cuz she killed her wife, right?
I guess, but
Her
like,
lesbian wife is dead."
go, yeah, okay, but go help your child first, right? No,
No.
no, okay.
Of course not. She only carried him for 9 months, Sitch. She
You're
doesn't
right. Yeah,
care.
but she doesn't
She's got to
care.
fight. She's got to get some anger issues out.
Yep.
And she's mad. Soul is like the good guy here. They hated writing this part. They're like, can't we just make the Jedi pure evil? Do we have to make him good for this part? He doesn't
Disney
want
was
to
like,
kill.
no, 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 you're not allowed.
No, you can't just make she. He can't kill Darth Maul mom in cold blood. Okay, he's got to resist killing her.
Hmm.
He didn't want to kill the black mom. It was only an accident. She
Look at that.
she
Of
reached
course,
for the
he
she reached for the force and she got the lightsaber.
exactly. And then they
So
let the white mom go.
okay, she runs out.
Well, she turns into mist.
Oh yeah, she does. So she turns into mist and flies away.
Well, it's weird because at first I thought like, so she's like, you hear her vo after she turns into mist, you hear her voice, and she's like, "Oh, you should not have brought him here." And then Torbin's like, "You can't mind control me." She's like, "I wasn't talking about you." And then for some reason, she's able to mind control the Wookiee, who I thought was a Jedi Master.
Yeah. This,
But
so
then it's not
the
her. It's the entire coven. Because then it cuts to you see the entire witch coven is using the dark side of the Force to mind control the Wookiee guy.
yeah. So they turn the Wookiee. The first time you've got a Jedi Wookiee, they turn him into a total chump. He's completely mind controlled by just a random coven of cult witches
Yes.
to fight against his own friends.
Yep.
So they do the common trope of, I don't want to kill you. Look, you're my best friend. You've turned into a zombie, but I can save you.
I
Don't
know.
kill me.
Yep.
So this fight is just, I mean,
Well, the whole time the Wookiee guy's fighting, I was just thinking like, he's swinging around, his little Wookiee hairs are flying, and I'm like, you know, if a Wookiee was doing a lot of lightsaber fighting, I feel like a lot of those hairs would get singed up pretty quick, right?
oh yeah.
This is a very hairy guy. Like, you think any Jedi Wookiee would want to keep his hair real trimmed down, not be very shaggy.
Yeah. You lose all the Wookiee effect though.
That's true. That's true. But it wouldn't make more sense.
So people really wanted a Wookiee lightsaber battle. So I'm curious how people will respond to this. It
I mean,
was,
it's. Mhm.
oh, you go ahead.
I was gonna
What are
say,
you going to
just
say?
it's like any other lightsaber battle, but there's a guy in a
Yeah.
Wookiee suit. I mean,
I didn't think it was great. I mean, there wasn't masterful choreography or anything.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but I just that wasn't there wasn't something unique about it being a Wookiee with a lightsaber. Except it looks a little silly, I guess.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah, no.
Trinity shows up, and for some reason she has the Force power to expel the witches from his mind, but Soul doesn't, even though I thought they were both the same rank. But okay.
Well, she has a Padawan and he doesn't. So obviously he's
They
a
when they give you a
lesser.
Padawan, they teach you how to remove Force lesbian witches from people's brains.
So here's another giant problem with the rules, right? When she forces the witches out of the Wookiee's head,
Hmm.
she accidentally pushes a little too hard and kills them all.
Yeah, I guess it's really weird because they didn't make any reaction to like, was that intentional or was that supposed to happen? Like, what was going on there? It's like, oh, she just kills everyone. I was
Did
like,
she
holy shit.
did she kill them deliberately?
I don't know. Who knows? Never find out.
I mean, it would be good to know because she's the one that drops. Maybe we'll just lie about all this shit, right?
Yeah,
It's her idea,
you're right. Maybe
and
she's just
then
trying to cover up that she killed like 30 people.
yeah, exactly. Well, I think there was 50 of them, right? So she killed 50
Some
people.
of them did get blown up by the fire.
Well, after they all got killed here.
No, 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 because like because they're all the archer ladies got blown up by the fire somehow,
Oh, okay.
even though that doesn't make sense considering where they were standing, but whatever.
Look at this philosophy tube got to control a Wookiee.
Yeah, there you go. Good for them.
They'll
They're
have
moving up in the galaxy.
the black eyes. So she cures the Wookiee and kills all the, and then everything starts blowing up.
Everything had been no, no, because everything started blowing up and then everything super duper blew up.
Okay.
Because there's a scene like before where Trinity and
34067 ish.
When Trinity and the Wookiee were in the little jet before he even got out, things started like they look and they see things are starting to blow up.
Oh, okay.
It's a slow blow up process. There's
I
multiple
gotcha.
stages of blowing up. Okay.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah,
I've
right.
seen that before. Yeah.
Listen, it was like
Secondary explosions.
it's like you know how it took a long time for the I forget what it was called, that tower on 9/11, the other one to
Oh,
fall.
yeah.
You know, that's what's one of those scenarios. People are like, lightsabers can't melt steel beams. It's going to cause a whole bunch of conspiracies now. What exactly blew up and made the witch coven fall? Couldn't just be an ordinary fire, right?
Building 7.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
We have a building 7 situation.
World Trade 7. So then, so we see the bridge situation from a different angle now. We discover, I don't think we knew this in the first
No,
in the third episode. We don't know that it's Soul that's actually holding the bridge up. So
with the Force. Yeah.
he's got to make the decision.
The Sophie's Choice here.
He's like, look, Soul as a pedophile has a difficult time. It's like, I want them both, but I only have enough strength for one of them.
What's really weird, so like Soul is using the Force to hold the bridges up, I guess.
Right.
And my first thought was, why doesn't he just hold the children up with the Force?
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Wouldn't
we
that be
already saw him
easier?
in episode 1, right? Where he saves OSHA as an adult.
Yeah, he grabs her with the Force, yeah.
Right.
So yeah, why is he trying to hold up the entire like however many ton steel bridges as opposed to two small children?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Why not just force push them together, make them grab one another, and then just pull them towards him, right?
Yeah, or force push them both off the force pull them both off or push them off the bridge or so. Yeah, there's like a million ways to handle the situation, and he chose the worst one.
Because the script had to have it that way. Otherwise, you don't get this Sophie's Choice
Oh,
situation
this is
where he's
very
like,
important.
he does pick OSHA.
Yes. Well, it's
He's
like
like, okay, I'm gonna hold up the OSHA bridge, and May, you can get
eat shit,
fucked.
man. It's like you've seen Hancock, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Remember in the beginning of the movie when oh my God, what's that? Who's the other actor besides Will Smith who's from
Oh,
the main guy
yeah, I can't remember who is it.
from Arrested Development? Jason Bateman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like Jason Bateman's car is like stuck on a railroad track and the train's coming. And so Will Smith like just stands in front of the train and just like makes the entire train like derail and crash for like miles. And then everyone's like, why didn't you just pick up his car and move it off the track?
exactly. Yes.
And that was the joke. That was the joke. But this scene, it's like, why did he just pick them up? It's like, I don't know. We'll never know.
Well, look, we talked about this because obviously he can lift things up with his mind, right? But
Right.
then he lets go of the bridge and he reaches out and grabs her with his hands. I'm like,
Because he was tired. He had used up all his force points. Like,
oh, I guess he did. Yeah.
he only has so many force points. He's like, oh, my force points. I got to use my hands now.
Right. So, but this still has all the same problems. Like, um, maybe investigate, maybe make sure she's dead, maybe go down there and check it out. No, none of
No.
that happens. So they are back on the ship. They've got OSHA.
Hmm.
Oh my God. I laughed out loud
What?
because Carrie Ann Moss is like, dude, we have to lie to the council.
I was like, wait, what? Yes, it's so weird because Soul's like, I'll tell the council everything, and Trinity's like, no, you won't. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, Soul's like, I'm gonna throw myself on the mercy of the council, right? And Trinity's like, bitch, we're gonna lie like we always do. What are you talking about, rookie? We're gonna blame it all on the girl, on the dead girl. Jeez.
Well, I'm not even sure it would be Soul's fault. It would be Torbin's fault. He's the one that ran off in the first place.
Oh yeah, totally. But it's
So,
just
like,
it's mind-bogglingly stupid that they're that their motivation for lying is because OSHA, because OSHA had a dream of being a Jedi, and if we tell them, then Soul won't be able to teach her the ways of the Force. Bitch literally dropped out as a Jedi. She never became
Yes.
a Jedi.
The irony. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also, like, the explanation doesn't make sense because OSHA's dream was not to train under Soul. She just met the guy. Her
I
dream was just
know.
to join to be a Jedi. She could have been trained by anybody.
Carrie's like, we can't let this little girl's dream die. We have to lie about all of this.
Wouldn't that see? Okay, again, this is the writers. They since they're so retarded, they just undercut themselves. You could have had an interesting character conflict here, where like you find out that the like some Jedi like died or got washed out so that OSHA could join the Jedi Order, and then like was being trained by like their Padawan, kind of like in the first prequel movie, you know. Obi-Wan doesn't want to train Anakin. Qui-Gon does. Qui-Gon dies. Obi-Wan's like, "Oh, I'll train you, you know, because my master wanted, you know, to, and he died." Right? You could have that situation, and then that like pressure is like added on OSHA when she drops out. It like destroys her life because she's like, "Oh my God, someone like died for me, and I like let them down."
Yeah. That could be a great conflict.
But it's like, no,
You got to have professional writers to make that work, though.
I'm just a fucking asshole. I came up with that. Like, come on.
This is like, this is just,
George Lucas came up with that. The first Star Wars movie.
I can't believe that the whole motivation for lying about this debacle is because this little girl had a dream of being a Jedi.
It's
That
so
is so
retarded.
laughable.
Yes.
That is so laughable.
Which is never
Soul.
really explained in the first place why she wants to be a Jedi.
Yeah, no doubt. How she even heard of the Jedi? None of that is explained.
Yes.
It would be funny if Carrie Ann Moss, when she was forcing the witches out of the Wookiee, and she ends up killing all of them, if she was like, "Oh shit,"
Yeah.
if she said, "Oh shit," like,
Right.
and looked around, and everyone kind of looked at her like, "Ugh, I can't believe you did that," because then it would make sense why she came up with this. And it'd be
Yes.
funny too. She'd be like, "We have to help this little girl. We have to do it for the little girl, okay?"
Soul like gives her the side eye like, bitch, are you for real? Like, what's happening here?
Like everybody knows Trinity's the one that killed like 50 innocent witches.
She's like, no, no, you listen. Everyone killed at least one witch. We're all culpable here, right?
Yeah, exactly. The Wookiee's like, "Oh, I didn't kill anyone." Look,
And
that
he's
would have been
like,
good.
no, fuck you. I didn't. I had to kill those witches to get them out of your brain. It's your fault.
Yeah, totally. They want to
That would have
blame the
seen.
Wookiee.
What an amazing scene that would have been, right?
Yeah, no, it would have been great. It would have actually added some conflict, and you would have had Carrie Ann Moss come off as the bad guy, and all the
Right.
Jedi would be good. They'd be like, "Look, we tried to," but no, this nobody said anything for 16 years. What the
No.
fuck? All these people are look. You're evil. You're evil. You're evil. You're like, man, they gaslit you good. You didn't even make it through the Jedi Academy.
Hmm.
Yeah, this this is horrifying. I don't know how they're going to end this thing, because they basically gave away everything in this episode. Like, what is there left?
There's just wait. This still. We still don't know what ascension means.
Mm-hmm.
Darth Maul Mom is still alive, presumably. Because we didn't see her die, and we still don't know what the fuck Smilo Ren wants, or whatever the fuck's going on with that.
They didn't even use the framing device of this whole story is being told to OSHA
Oh, you're right.
by
You're right.
Soul. Like,
You're right.
because I want to cut back to actually adult OSHA. I want to see the look on her face.
Well, she was telling May, not OSHA.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess May already knows this, though. She saw everything. Why is he telling May?
I don't. Yeah. What did May not know?
May saw everything. What the fuck? Really? What the fuck? OSHA's the one that didn't see anything.
Yeah, May was like, I have a bunch of questions, but she saw what happened. She started a fire that made everything explode,
She saw
and
mom killed.
then she saw Soul stab her mom. I mean, I don't what she literally saw all the key parts there. Like, I don't know.
And when he discovers May's alive, why? I mean, why doesn't he have like the giant oh shit? Like, there's never the oh shit when May's alive, right?
Hmm.
He doesn't
No.
go, oh my God. Oh my God. Everything should have been 10 times different. If,
Well, come on.
well, no,
So,
if Soul knows that May knows everything,
mhm.
like when
Oh,
Soul
right.
interacts with May in the shop, the poison shop, like he would know, oh my God, this girl knows I killed her mom.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
None of that plays out that way though. What's
Hmm.
going on there? Doesn't he
Uh,
literally see her in the poison shop?
yeah, but he doesn't care.
Hmm. Yeah. Why doesn't
Wait,
why doesn't May just say you killed my mom, you fucking dick?
right.
Like
Why,
they have a fucking battle.
why does the Wookiee guy feel responsible enough that he's gonna go isolate himself in a jungle for like 10 years?
He
He
didn't
was
do
literally the
shit.
least culpable one of all of them. He did nothing wrong except I mean, I guess he got taken over like an idiot, but like, I don't know, you can say, oh, it's not my fault. I was just like, I just dropped in and suddenly force switches took over my brain. Like, and then they died. It's like, fuck them. They deserve it after that, right?
Why did Torbin commit suicide? All he wanted to do was go home and have some eggs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least with him, he like ran off. So you'd be like, maybe it's sort of like his fault, I guess.
Right.
But
This is our
even,
ticket out of here.
I guess, I don't,
No, that's what he screamed as he was taking
and
off.
then why
So,
does Soul feel no responsibility at all? I guess because he's the one that stabbed the mom. She put her, when she reached for the force.
oh, this is so. All right. And we finally go to credits here. Look, no, they have. So OSHA wakes up and they're all just, they've decided to conspire to just to lie. Basically tell her, oh, yeah, everyone's dead.
Mhm.
It was all your sister's fault. Gonna go back to sleep. This is,
Yes,
oh, God. I can't wait. I can't wait. The people are, this is just, this is
it's
so
pretty terrible.
insanely bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so insanely bad. Premium cringe. I don't think I think this is the cringiest Star Wars ever.
Oh yeah, easily,
The last,
easily.
the Book of Boba Fett was pretty bad because they had all the, like the moped scooter people and stuff.
Hmm.
They're like,
I never watched it.
you didn't watch it? Oh, it's pretty
No.
cringe. It is definitely pretty cringe. The last season of Mandalorian got super cringe as well. Mando was reduced to second fiddle in his own show. They brought in a woman to basically do everything better than Mando. But
Nice.
this is premium cringe just right out of the gate. This is like 8 episodes of fresh hot cringe. So
I was looking. I
I
was
think they
looking
might
up.
do like a Fight Club thing here in the end too.
You think OSHA and no, that's impossible. OSHA and May can't be the same person
Look, they can do anything at this
because
point.
one of them's talking to Smiler Ren and one of them's talking to Soul.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
They can do it.
I mean, like they're gonna have to have. This is what's gonna happen. Okay, I can see the future here. Soul and OSHA are gonna fly off to the planet that Jason Mendoza is on with OSHA. I don't know how they're gonna know to get there, but they're just gonna, and neither the script, they're just gonna show up and they're gonna have some confrontation. And we're gonna learn that Jason Mendoza is really like Darth Plagueis or something, and everyone in the fandom is going to go insane that this like really important character has been reduced to this for this terrible TV show. And then Darth Maul mom will show up and she'll still be alive and she trained Jason Mendoza slash Darth Plagueis or something.
Hmm.
Or told him to go find OSHA or May or whatever.
What happens after? So we left the last episode with Soul telling May this story here, which makes no sense because May already knows all of this.
Right.
Like, how does that end? May goes, "Bitch, I saw the whole thing. I was there, dumbass." Like, what?
We're not gonna see a direct reaction to the story. It's just gonna cut to them like leaving the ship or something onto the other planet.
To avoid the fact that it makes no sense why he would
Yes.
want to tell this story to May, who saw everything anyway.
Yes.
Hmm. Well, I am kind of curious to see how they finesse their way out of that mess next week. But I guess you're probably right. They don't. They probably just pretend it never happened.
And I'm the only thing I'm curious is they will ever explain what the ascension ceremony is or not.
Oh
They
my
might
god.
never explain what it was. And they'll never explain what the mom was. I wonder if they'll explain what the mom was trying to do when she like reached for the force. Like, why was she like melting herself in the child?
Oh yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you think they'll explain that?
Of course not.
No.
You know it's basically he reached for the gun, but it was a toy gun.
Right.
The whole Wookiee fight too is ridiculous. They play the music like you're supposed to be like, "Oh, shocked. Oh no, it's the Wookiee. They're all going to die."
Hmm.
But I mean, this is a flashback. We know they don't fucking die, right? We
Right.
saw how Torbin dies.
We know the outcome of
You
everything. Yeah.
morons.
Yep. That's true.
It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. There's absolutely no tension in this fight because we already know the outcome.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know 50 witches die, but they completely underplay that.
I mean, they were kind of asking for it.
Oh man.
They were mentally raping a Wookiee, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
That is a crime. And they did directly try to kill Torbin. Like he really they when they're controlling the Wookiee, they really tried to get him to cut Torbin in half. Like why did like he should have been like, why does he feel guilty enough to kill himself? He should have been like, oh, those bitches tried to kill me. Like, screw them. I'm glad they all died.
They should have had the Wookiee have like a robot arm or something like that, and then you could see how he lost his arm, like Torbin took his arm off. That would have
Oh, that'd been
been
cool.
yeah. So it's like
Right. Yeah, that would
there's
have been cool.
actually some stakes. You're like,
Right.
yeah, but no, they don't do any of that shit.
That would have been pretty cool. I'm rewatching
There's
the fight. Soul literally pimp slaps the Wookiee.
does he?
Kind of hilarious. It's when he like jumps over the lightsaber in the slow motion shot. He like just backhands him in the face. It's like what the fuck?
This completely undercuts May's character too, because the whole series we're supposed to think May is like born evil.
Hmm.
But then they completely undercut it by May started the fire accidentally and was put up to it by her mom. It's like none of her motivation was real. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, her
Stupid.
mom didn't tell her to like start the fire, but she did tell her to stop OSHA from leaving.
She did tell her, get drunk on your hate.
Yes, she did say that.
Do you tell kids something like that? What do you expect houses to burn down? You're like,
Yeah.
here's a gallon of gasoline now. Get drunk on your hate.
Hmm.
Anyway, I think we got some super chats, but you got any closing thoughts on this
I
amazing mess
mean,
of a show?
I'm so glad that like this was the big mystery that they had been dragging out for 7 episodes, that they couldn't, that we were on the edge of our seat to know this like really very interesting mystery, right? Don't you feel so like, oh, so fulfilled?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of guessed it. I mean, all this was guessed that the Jedi were going to be the bad guys, that they were like cops covering up the truth.
Hmm.
I mean, all that kind of played out exactly how everyone predicted. So, No, it didn't subvert expectations at all.
Nope.
Yeah. All to be expected.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very boring. Very terrible.
The episode was a lot longer than the other episodes, it seemed. I think,
Because they had to replay all the old scenes from episode three.
yeah, exactly. And it felt like 2 hours, in all honesty, since it just basically did all of episode 3 from a different angle.
Hmm.
Well, I can't wait
Go
to see people's reactions to this because
Oh
those
my
are always
God.
more fun than the actual show.
It's true. It's true.
What do we
I
got?
like, I just, this is from an article from some publication called Inverse.
Mm-hmm.
And they already wrote an article about this episode. It's called Vengeance. One line in the Acolyte just redefined the weirdest Phantom Menace concept. Oh, wait,
Oh,
no,
really?
Virgins. Never mind. They're not praising it. They're making fun of the whole Virgins and the Force thing.
Okay, so that isn't from lore then. Haha, I was right. They're trying to make their own lore. They're trying to make some new lore.
Well, there you go.
It's just nobody wants new lore. People want to forget that this show ever happened. Nobody wants new
People,
lore out of this horrible show.
well, that's the thing. You can do new lore if you expand on something that was kind of murky and the show is good and people like it. And
Yeah.
the expanded lore is good. But if everyone hates your show, they're like, "Oh, please God, no. Don't add something to the lore that will forever be like tied to this, Star Wars."
Yeah, thank goodness Yoda hasn't showed up yet,
He's
right?
gonna show up in the last episode.
He just stabs the cloud. Like, what were you thinking there? At least swirl it around a bit.
Like cotton, you need like to get like cotton candy. You need to like really get at it.
No, he needs to be swinging like it's a fly. It's like be all over
No,
the
it's like
place.
cotton candy. You have to like wrap it
Oh
up.
yes. Oh, that would be good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like he he does. He swirls it up into like a big pile of goop.
Yeah, if he had like a Coven Mom cotton candy on his like lightsaber, like how horrifying would that have been?
That would have been great. Like her head is kind of like half hanging off of it. I was gonna let it.
Exactly.
I was gonna let her go. I was just
I
messing
know.
with you. Oh, this is so stupid. None of these people have any motivation.
No.
It makes me wonder if the writers understand, like if the writers have any motivation beyond, trying to get some project made, trying to be famous in Hollywood.
I legitimately think that that the scripts for this show were written 80% by ChatGPT.
Really, that would make sense. That would
That would
totally
make
make sense.
that would explain a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put
Like
in like a paragraph that's the treatment. Turn this into a 8
yes,
episode.
I unironically think that whatever the lady's name is that's the creator of the show, she just came up with like plot points and then fed them in the ChatGPT to like fill it out.
Right. I wonder if we could put in, don't tell people what to think, teach them how to think into chat GPT and say, reword this for us. And if it
Right.
would spit out what the line was, I feel
No,
like it
because
might.
I've seen like ChatGPT stories and stuff, and they have this quality to them that's very similar to the show, where it's like things happen, but they're not connected in a way that makes sense or is like filling. Like it's just like events happening, sort of.
Right.
And that's really what this feels like. I'm telling you, man, this is the first
Yeah.
ChatGPT show.
Yeah. Professional writers, they normally, when you're going to do a character arc, you kind of do the character building beats and you think, okay, I'm going to work this beat into this scene, this beat into this scene, this beat into this scene. None of that happens. Like the
No.
best example is when the witch takes over Torbin. Like that's a perfect opportunity to do some major character building, right?
Right?
This is Luke Skywalker meeting Darth Vader in the swamp, right?
Right.
But none of that happens. There's no foreshadowing for anything.
Yeah. You
It's
gotta
just a
make the
wasted
characters
scene. It's super
interesting.
long too. Yeah.
Yeah. None of the character, like, even though I know you didn't really like it, but And part of the reason I really like Hunter x Hunter is that it really gives almost every character, even the villains, like it goes into a lot of their like
Motivation.
motivations. And
Yeah.
even though they're still like evil, you're like, oh, that's like they make them like cool and interesting, even though they're all still evil. So you kind of like them, but you're like, oh, they're kind of terrible. It really like takes the time to go into every different little character and explain what's motivating them. And this show is just like the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you why anyone is doing anything. Like Soul, I mean, it's just him wanting to save the girls is superficial, and none of us can get on board with that because we don't know that they're in any danger. Like,
Right.
it's like,
And neither
dude,
does he.
yeah, he just seems like a insane.
He seems like a creepy pedo.
And then to and then to go, I mean, there are ideas here that would be interesting to explore. I mean, you've got basically this rogue Jedi that wants to lie to the council. I mean, that's an interesting storyline.
Sure.
But that's something you want to introduce at the beginning of the story and see how things play out. Like for this story, we already know how things play out. They go along with it.
Hmm.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
You could have had okay, I just brain blast here. Like they should have done this as like a mystery, which is they're trying to do, like a murder mystery
They
thing.
called it a mystery on
I know, it's
IMDb. I
just
was
a
surprised.
joke, right? And instead of OSHA being washed out, she's actually like in the Jedi Order. And as she's like investigating all this stuff, she realizes that like her old master is like behind it all. And at the end, like the big reveal is that, he covered it all up because, all these people died and it was like her fault. And he didn't want her to like be like destroyed by having this information.
Yeah,
And he's like, I did it all for you, Osha. I
that's
did
it.
it all for you. And then he dies. And she's like, oh my God, the drama.
Yeah, see, that's why you got to start with the end. You're like, this would be a very satisfying ending, right?
Yeah, now how do
A
we build up to that, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
I did it all for you, OSHA. I lied. I cheated. I killed 50 innocent women for you, OSHA. For you.
There you go.
It's beautiful.
Yes. I didn't want you to know, but damn your detective skills. And that dog, that dog of yours.
But you
You see
figured it
the little
out.
gopher guy comes out.
Oh, not the gopher. Please make it stop. Doesn't that he look like the gopher from Caddyshack?
He does.
It's
I
so
thought that
bad.
I thought that the whole time I saw him. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I was like, was this like a Caddyshack reference? What's happening here?
I saw some
I
interview where they were bragging about the amazing character design in this show. And I was thinking, what are
of
you guys
who?
smoking? They
Of
took
who?
everything and made it 10 times lamer. They
Yes.
have a Wookiee Jedi. They give him this stupid haircut. Just makes him
Yeah.
look weird. They
Hmm.
have that little Pip robot, which is just completely inconsequential.
And
Like
bland. Yeah. It's
like
kind of
it's
boring
not
looking.
cute or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little Walkman.
No baby Yoda. Jeez.
No. The
Yeah.
little green the green lady looks pretty lame. I get the Darth Maul mom looks fine, I guess. Um,
Hmm.
she's really the only one. Everyone else is just kind of like generic.
Right. Yeah. They did a good job of making Philosophy Tube look like a woman. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. Anyway, do we have some super
Terrible.
chats or what?
Terrible. Oh, there was one thing. I like the little alien elephant guys, like the little baby versions.
I think those are the things that Luke milks, right? That's the
I
island that
I
Luke was on.
I think they evolve into those in like 200 years. Like Jesus, they have some kind of massively fast evolution or something.
They the No, I thought they were just babies ones of those.
No, because you see bigger ones with littler ones. So I figured, I
The
don't know.
Jedi library is on that island, right? So we're gonna see that Jedi library somewhere. Like Darth Plagueis has the Jedi library there.
Was it or I thought? I thought Luke bring it to the library, or did he find it there
I
or
don't
that
know.
island? I don't remember.
Maybe it's where it's hidden. Who
Who
knows?
knows?
They're taking
Girls,
liberties with the lore.
right. Girl Sarah for $2 says, I was on board for Death of the Franchise, but this To Kill a Franchise bird is a step too far from my liking.
I like that though.
There you go.
To Kill a Mockingbird, that was the original social justice novel.
I mean, I'm sure there were social justice novels before To Kill a Mockingbird.
No, there weren't. That was it. That's the original.
Wasn't Huck Finn before? Like, well,
Oh,
Huck
you're
Finn's
right.
older than To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That inward
Rogue.
laden horror show.
There you go. Rogue. Wait, I missed one. Stug for $2. Thanks so much. Says, glad you're mostly better, Sitch. Glad you're a large now, Adam, and also not sick. What do you mean a large now?
I've been playing around with the. I don't want this to be exactly like the Sunday show, so
Oh yeah, because you're like a different size.
I did a little light
I
graphic
see, I
design.
see.
I went
Yes.
the Tim
Thank you,
Pool.
Stug.
I went the Tim Pool style here.
Right. I do feel significantly better, so thank you.
That's good. Are we streaming tomorrow? Or
Uh,
so much
maybe.
is going on in political news.
We should. Yeah, we should
Oh
stream
my
for we'll stream
god.
tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Are we gonna
So
win our bet? Is Joe
I
Biden gonna drop out?
I
Is
don't
Joe
know.
Biden gonna drop dead?
It's a good question. It's a
How
good
bad
question.
is the press secretary gonna continue to lie up
Oh
until
my God.
November?
That's hilarious. Rogue Elephant for $20 says, I believe the real Star Wars timeline split on the Disney purchase. I support the original Thrawn trilogy, the real Solo kids, and Mara Jade as the real Luke waifu. God bless you for putting up with this schlock. Well, thank
Oh
you.
yeah.
Plastic Crack Academic for $5 says, can finally watch live with these later streams, formally signing the review Psychopaths petition. There you go.
Cool.
Jeez, everyone wants us to watch Psychopaths.
Is that a movie?
It's an anime.
Okay.
Why don't you watch it, Adam? You let me know if you like it.
People want us to watch the Boys too. I guess that's gone off the rails. So
I know, we'd have a lot to catch up on though. Fondue for $2 says, talk about how the show is mechanically bad is everywhere now. It's a big contrast to the Furin video essay saying it's good on every storytelling level. As much as I like Arcane, it might be best you watch that next. I'll get to it eventually. Don't worry. I'll
did you
watch
watch?
your elf ear anime eventually.
Did you watch House of the Dragon on Sunday? Oh my
I
god,
did not know.
so good. Oh, you got to
Really?
watch it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Shocking. Okay.
very good. Very like the whole second half of the episode. You're like, just fucking amazing.
That what was that guy's name that we did the video on? Anthony Ramagul?
Hmm.
Anthony Gabagool? You know the guy we just watched the drinker video on, retired
Yeah,
drinker. He
that
did a
loser.
video he did a video defending Star Wars Acolyte.
No,
Yes, he did.
why?
Yes. It's so boring. I was like, oh, I couldn't even finish it. It was just so boring.
Well, that's
He
fitting for how boring the series is.
he literally spends the first like 20, 30 minutes of the video. It's like almost 2 hours, I think, or not. I don't know. It's very long.
2 hours? It's a
It's
2 hour video?
it's a very long video.
It's longer than the series. I don't think the series is 2 hours long.
He spends literally the first 20, 30 minutes of his video defending the concept of saying that people that cared that the guy with the big cone head that they changed his birthday, saying that that doesn't matter.
Oh,
And I'm like,
okay.
well, you could just say that. You don't need to spend 20 minutes saying that. Like it's like insane. It's like you're hearing like the rantings of like a psycho.
If this show was great, people would be willing to forgive it. Since this
Sure.
show is just complete ass, nobody
Of
no one's
course.
going to forgive anything.
Right. But he's
Yeah,
too
you messed
stupid
up.
to like understand the psychology of that or even
Oh
point it
yeah.
out, I guess. 'Cause
Oh yeah.
so, you know. Stug Addy Mundi, that's what I thought of this, for $2 says, what about the Disnoid attack on the Wookiee? There you go.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
made the Wookiee cringe. I can't believe the Wookiee. He's a bad cook, and he's got a
right.
bad haircut, and he's easily mind controlled.
Yep.
It's like, what are you trying to say?
I'm gonna be real. Listen, this may be an unpopular opinion, all right?
Uh huh.
I don't give a fuck about Wookiees. I've never given a fuck about Wookiees. I think they're stupid looking.
Sacrilege.
I think they're stupid. I think it's a stupid design.
Oh
Chewbacca
my
is
god.
fine as like a one-off character, but I don't care about Wookiees as like a species or a race. I hate them.
Why you
I
gotta
never
do
play
this,
them in a
Sitch?
game. Just fuck Wookiees, all right?
What? Look.
Fuck
Why
Wookiees.
you gotta flush our new channel right down the toilet? Everyone loves Wookiees. You
Why
you
do people like
piece of
these
shit.
stupid things? These stupid hairy
Cause look,
fucking
it's like
monsters.
a walking dog. Everyone fucking loves dogs. Come
It's got
on,
they're not
Sitch.
cute. They're ugly.
I can't believe you're doing this. Wookiees are amazing.
No,
You
fuck
know how many
Wookiees.
dogs are named Chewie?
Now,
Fucking all of them.
whenever I play, whenever I play Star Wars Battlefront, whenever I had to kill a Wookiee, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that guy, fucking loser playing a Wookiee. What an idiot.
Are you guys? Do you hear this? Are you guys listening to this right now? Sitch is like coming. Sitch is coming out as straight evil, man. He's joined the dark side.
I just be like, oh, I'd be a sniper, and I just be like, oh, let me make sure I kill the Wookiees first.
Oh man. Even Chewbacca?
No, I like
You'd
Chewbacca.
sniper Chewbacca?
Chewbacca is the only Wookiee I actually like.
Oh man.
He's listen, he's one of the good ones.
No, Sitch, no, don't.
All the other Wookiees, though,
That's
they
worse
can
than
be
my philosophy
purged.
tube joke.
They could be purged and shaved.
What would those Wookiees look like if you do shave them? That'd be.
I
I'm
don't know.
curious.
That's a good question.
I'm curious about that.
A good
Do they have
question.
any hairless Wookiees?
I'm I'm sure I'm sure you could look up a picture. Someone's drawn a weird fan picture. Stug for $2 says, "Am I missing something, or does young Soul look like a grandmother?" He
No,
does a
he
little bit.
does look like a
Yeah,
grandma. Yeah.
yeah. I guess just because of the digital de-aging process or something. But
Soul is like, I really want to take these girls, these young girls, but
you were
they're
right. Look at
too
that.
old.
Fondue said that their dog was named Chewy. Look at that. You were
Really?
right.
I
Yeah,
nailed it.
you nailed it.
Sitch has done the unthinkable.
I know.
This is why you got COVID, man. The universe is out to get you.
It's Wookiee karma. What's
Totally.
the one dog that actually does have like the little Wookiee face? Like a Yorkie? Little
I
brown
don't know.
Yorkie.
Not sure.
Stug for $2 says, Sitch, you should really watch the interview that EFAP watched last Saturday, or EFAP itself. It's rather illuminating on the chat GPT point, I mean. What's the I wonder if that's the wasn't there some interview you sent me that was from the show?
I
You
don't
did,
know.
right? That was like
What?
insane. Is
I sent
it?
you
Yeah,
what?
you did.
Something?
It was Leslie Headland talks
Oh yeah.
Kalnaka, the arms
We
that broke the internet. Is that the thing that you're talking about, Stug?
we have to watch that interview.
Yeah.
We have to watch that interview. It's
We'll
Did
watch
you
this up.
watch it?
I did. It was like
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
crazy. Leslie Headland's a freak.
Is
I
that what you
can't
were
I
talking about,
can't
Stug?
I can't believe I cannot believe Star Wars is just Disney has to be very upset about all this. I've heard the numbers are falling off a cliff,
Hmm.
and they set it so you can't see the audience. You can't see the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes too.
Wait, what?
Yeah, supposedly you got to click on. They made the audience score some little tiny link in the bottom that you have to click on to be able to see what the audience score
That's
is.
funny.
Yeah.
A shit silly, yeah.
This is trash. They spent what did they spend on this? $180 million.
Yes.
That's insane. That's
And
crazy.
it is weird too, because this almost seems like a money laundering, because you're like, where did that money go?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
they should have spent some money on writers.
They lost 75% of the viewership. How do we know that? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but like, are those numbers public?
The response videos are way better. Like you
Well,
guys understand the show, and it's way more interesting. We're giving
mhm.
kind of the bad writing take. A lot of other people know the lore and they're giving like the lore take. So we should do a scripted video on this once it's all said and done,
Mhm.
just because it is such a trash fire.
Sugg says, I don't know if that's what I'm talking about, but it shows Leslie Headland doesn't even know what she wrote and such. Okay. Well, I'll check it out. I can't watch it now because I don't know if I can talk for like another hour, but
Well, I gotta go anyway. So
right.
are we
But we'll
getting
watch it at
close
some
or?
point. Sulla for $2 says, Mike said in their Prey review, I'm neither pro woke or anti woke. He probably thinks he's being centrist and just wants to stay away from culture war stuff. Yeah, I
Mike?
mean, I'm
Who's
assuming he
Mike?
means Mike from Red Letter Media.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, they try to be, they are all anti woke in terms of like how they view the world, but they don't perceive themselves as anti woke because they're just very politically neutral people. So,
Right.
but I mean, also, it's pretty clear they don't really like Trump, which I think that's like a generic mainstream kind of view. So I think they're just like normies. Taylor for $6 says, I can't believe the show got made. At least I got to enjoy my favorite YouTubers break it down. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, at least made for good content. J-Mac, thank you so much. Our surrogate father for the $20 says Darth Maul's mom species is called Zabrak. Let me know if you guys need to know how any other Star Wars taxonomy. I'm a wealth of useless and probably not outdated information. There you go.
Zabrak.
Zabrak. Like Brack from the Brack show?
Brack. I love Brack.
Don't you? Like I saw something really sad. The voice actor for Brack, he's like an Amazon delivery driver now.
No way.
Yeah, like he could never get like another job or something. He just like delivers Amazon products. It's like
I
packages. It's really
mean,
sad.
wasn't Brack just the Brack voice wasn't stellar or anything? I mean,
I yeah, but
it was
I
just
don't
kind of a
know.
goofy voice, right?
They did a
I'm
lot of
Brack.
fucking he did a lot of shows, a lot of episodes. Like
Okay.
what did they pay him? I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, those a lot of times actors get paid peanuts. So
It's terrible. Fondue for $2 says, "Holy oh, I read that one. And then I read that one. Yep. Okay. Well, that's it.
all right, great show, amazing show.
I guess we will stream tomorrow on the main channel.
Yep. Talk some politics.
Yep.
Maybe we'll rub Pisco's face in it a little.
That'd be funny. Okay. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Did you hit the button? Okay, good.